What's up, Crypto Nation? Come back with a quick video. Well, I can't promise that it's going to be quick, but I want to talk a little bit about USI Tech and how my trip went. And basically, being new to the company, the first thing I wanted to do was attend the Dallas event. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because sometimes, when you get to actually meet people that are in the space and meet the people that are the leaders that are pushing the program, you'll get to see up front, in person, what the company is about. And a lot of the times in this crypto space, we usually see the companies that we deal with as far as the ICOs, the different types of programs and platforms. We get to see them in a different light because we're seeing them online. We're seeing only what they present to us. And going in person, you really get to see the people involved. You get to see the leaders involved. And you get a different aspect of what they're pushing. USI Tech has been around for over 8 years. It's been finding its way along the journey on how they're going to implement what they wanted to implement, and seeing them up close, having my radar on for the scam. I really wanted to press deep into finding out what they're about, what they're trying to do. Now, I got to see a lot of things that aren't presented to the public. And, I say unfortunately, but fortunately, a lot of the things that they showed, we weren't able to videotape because legal reasons of why they've had issues in the recent past, of people videotaping the events and then misconstruing it and chopping it up and playing it back to people to advertise for basically slander campaigns, really messed them up. And all I wanted to do was jump in feet first and see what this company really was about. And it's some really, really good stuff. First of all, I want to say that USI Tech is really, really legally compliant here in the United States. Everywhere else that they're touching, their first and foremost goal is to be legally compliant. Now, most companies that we know of in the crypto space, you might say, well, this goes against the whole premise of cryptocurrency. You're supposed to be anonymous. You're not supposed to be tangible to the governments of the world. Well, unfortunately, in this space, you can do that, but you can only go so far. And what that also does is it also creates a negative impact on the people that you're trying to bring in. Because the people that you're trying to bring in, they're saying, well, if everything is anonymous, why should I even get involved? Because my investment could be lost and there's nobody to contact. There's nobody to pin it on to say that they're responsible for a scam. Well, USI Tech is not dealing with that. They're promoting their business. They're doing their business, but they're doing it in the open. They want all aspects of their business to be under microscope, to see what they're doing, to be compliant, because in the end, they're not trying to sell you a pipe dream. In the end, they're not trying to be able to disappear with no traces. This is a 101 of how companies that we deal with on a daily in America here and worldwide, and how they operate. So I can understand a little bit of the apprehension on how they're going about things, but I'm telling you, this company, I'm reading my notes here because I wrote a lot of notes at this event, and it's crazy. I'm going to read you one of the notes that I took. USI Tech launched the BTC pack with the BTC package at about $900 at the time when BTC was only worth around $900. BTC now is worth over $6,400, and that's over a 600% increase in 7 months, in about 7 to 8 months. That's insane. What struck me as a bit difficult or a bit different was most companies and most promoters that you see, me included, when we're advertising these other companies, these other programs and ICOs, we're usually focused on the hype aspect. But USI, they don't want you to focus on the hype aspect because they have a program that works. So education is their actual purpose. We can see this with other companies, mainly BitConnect, which Craig Grant and a couple of others are actually trying to focus on for that platform. They're trying to focus mainly on education of that program, education of Bitcoin in general, because it really is the most important aspect when you're trying to sell a company. You're trying to educate people, not just sell them a dream, not just sell them a package, not just sell them a program. You're trying to educate them on the space, how your program or how that company's program works within the space, and how they can benefit from it. So it's really, really good. I think that they're going on the right direction. And every step this company takes, they are walking behind legal backing because they don't want to be sued. They don't want to be held legally responsible for things that these other programs and ICOs and stuff like that that are doing openly. It's basically the Wild Wild West out here. So I feel very, very confident joining USI Tech because before USI, before when I heard of USI Tech, I didn't really do my research. And even when I did do my research, I wasn't really, I'll tell the truth, I wasn't really into what they were doing. They were mainly into the Forex. And I was just like, this doesn't make sense compared to the crypto space. It doesn't work. And the more and more I looked into it, the more and more I decided to get into it. The more and more it made sense. They are still doing the Forex trading. They're going to be coming out with that and basically a mirror platform for the Forex trading side for people who just want to deal with foreign currencies and stuff like that and Forex trading. And not so much with the BTC packages. They are hitting all aspects, and they want to expand and let people know that they are here to stay. They've been here longer than anybody, and that's most important. I did write down a couple of top 5 questions from you guys. I wasn't able to talk directly with Dan and Patty Hunt, who are the pushers for basically the U.S. Side of things. And the first question was, what happens to BTC packages if BTC Core flops? They spoke on this quite a bit, not directly, but basically in what would happen in the space, what happens in the space. And it was kind of fortunate because BTC took a big hit during the event and went all the way down to like 5,100, and Bitcoin Cash soared. And there was no change to the program and what it offers, which is really cool to see. So I don't think anything really matters about BTC Core and what happens in the BTC space. The only thing that I can see is that if I wish that I had the resources at the time of the trip to buy into USI Tech BTC packages when it went down to 5,100, because what it gives you to some may not be very it may not be very attractive when you see the return. Now they promise you, they don't really promise you, they say up to 1% a day, per working day on your contribution or your investment. Now they did go into Dan did go into more specifics, and when he said up to 1%, and that means basically 0.75% all the way up to 1.25% a working day fluctuation based on what you could be paid. So that's where they get the average of 1%, because some days you could be paid up to 0.75% all the way up to 1.25%. So I'm glad they clarified that. Somebody asked, when will the presentation slides be released? I'm not necessarily sure when the presentation slides that they showed us will be released to the public, but they are basically trying to focus on getting a lot of information out to the public between now or the time of the event and the end of 2017. Now, they have a lot of things in store as far as the public being able to log on, click a link, log on, and see exactly what they're trading in real time. So there is no questions of on a branded USI Tech pool. So you can see exactly what they're trading each day, similar to what BitConnect does on their live platform, where you can see where the trades are made, where the market is at. So they want to show that and be completely transparent. And I think that's very, very important to their cause and what they're trying to do. The third question was, is there debt at all being applied to the ICO tokens? Now, I didn't get a direct answer because I didn't speak to them directly, but from what they were saying in the event, they've already spent the money. They've already built the tech. They've already partnered themselves with IBM and other companies to bring forth the new change and what they're trying to do to the space. The money is spent. There was no message or no comment directly relayed saying that they would be recouping these funds or trying to recoup these funds through the ICO. But if you are a logical thinker, you would logically think that with them spending this much money, they would be trying to recoup a percentage or a good percentage of what they have spent. That's what any company would do. So I'm going to go on on the block and say that some of these, a percentage of these funds that they have already spent on trying to upgrade their mining farm and whatnot and technology involved will be recouped in some of this ICO. Question number 4, will there be a software wallet for tech tokens after the ICO? I did not receive a direct answer for that question. Naturally, I would think that a software wallet would be involved, obviously, if they're going to be mining from the Bitcoin side and the Ethereum side, that there will be a software wallet involved. They did not touch on this. Nobody that I spoke to touched on this, but the general consensus was that it is the norm and it will be implemented. So I'm guessing that more information on that will be released later on during the year. Will they burn? Question number 5 was, will they burn unsold tokens? Again, I didn't get a direct response on the ICO itself. The natural thing for them to do would be to burn the unused or the unbought or the unpurchased ICO tokens to alleviate, that burden, or redirect it in a way that some companies do to gear towards promotion and get people involved. So we're going to hang on those 2 questions and hopefully we'll get those answered sometime in the near future. But those weren't directly answered during the event. How long does the verification process take? Now, this is a ticket that I have sent in as well to USI Tech, and hopefully they will respond and answer me. But no answer was given during the event, they did say and they did talk about the verification process. And they also did touch on a very, very important aspect of that process. And what they did was, prior to this event, they were basically limiting a household to one account. And they realized that as they looked at their diagram and looked at their spread of influence among the different countries of the world, that some countries have multiple people living under one residential address, specifically in other countries, third world countries, Africa, India, everything like that. So what they wanted to do was alleviate that. So now you can have more than one account associated with an address. The only caveat is that you need to be able, each person who registers or each account that registers needs to be able to prove that they are who they are. And you have to be 18 years or older to do that. So I think that was a great move on their part to dodge that complication, which obviously they were having, and be able to award users basically that were involved in a single household to participate in the program. Like I said, I took a lot of notes, guys. One of the main ones that struck me was when they talked about their power efficiency technology, and it is called the asymmetric permanent magnet motor generator. And what's really cool about this, I wrote some notes. Obviously, I'm going to read them off to you as I wrote them. Basically, one of these batteries are powered by two powerful magnetic motors. They will be able to power six GPU racks with a half-life of 17 years. Now, what's really, really interesting is that this technology allows them to power these racks with no outside source of electricity. So nothing has to be plugged into this battery to basically run this battery pack among the 6 GPU racks. This power source is basically powered by the GPU racks and the heat energy that they let off while they're on and running. How does that work? Basically, what they were saying is that the technology is similar to the heat generated from the 6 GPU racks is converted into boiling water. The boiling water is then somehow they have technology to split the hydrogen atoms in that boiling water and then retrace them through the system to create the energy, which results basically in the omitting an output source. So that's really, really cool. It's really, really complicated the way they explained it, but that's the basic way of how I can say how this technology works. So basically, you're running direct current to your GPU racks, obviously, and then the current coming, the heat and the energy coming off the wasted energy is basically being reused to repower the rigs, which is amazing. By the end or mid-December, they will be holding 1% of the global mining hash rate, which is also pretty amazing. Also, by mid-December, they're hoping to get in the USI-Tech branded mining pool by mid-December, for people, again, like I said, to see exactly what they're pulling in, hash rates, to see what they're mining in public. It's not private. They're also going into GPU mining, which is going to hold 2.5% of the Ethereum hash rate to mine the tech coin, the new tech coin that we see in the ICO if you are registered with USI Tech. And an additional $10 million is added monthly to build slash maintain mining rigs. 70 million spent already, which they've already spent on the GPU mining rigs and the mining farm, which is pretty damn cool because they've already gone out of their pocket to build this. So they are going at this like animals. Another note that I wrote: mining HVAC. So basically, mining the mining rig. Air conditioning is pretty cool. They have a power thermal receptive high density unit, which is going to be used to cool the rigs and again help transfer that energy back into the system, so there is no wasted energy or very, very little wasted energy. The USI Tech company is the first company to partner with IBM Computers to run their own artificial intelligence with Watson technology to trade crypto, forex, equities, and commodities. Now, this is really, really huge because IBM is huge, and IBM has not partnered with anybody to this point with their Watson technology. USI Tech is the first company to do this, to partner with IBM and to basically have a license to use the Watson technology to be able to trade commodities, crypto, forex, and everything. I mean, it's insane the capabilities of what Watson can do. Basically, for an example, Watson can basically be set to search and compute every single logged text or input in the Twitter universe and directly correlate the important things that go towards trading for USI Tech into their system. Now that's really technical, but that's what they're doing. IBM would not do that for a company that is trying to scam people or do anything like that. I wrote down some more information. Merchants and consumers. ATM distro strategy. They're hoping to get at least 3 million ATM projects or ATM machines out on the market, which is really, really cool, to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and the Tech coin. So that's why they're harping on so much with the Tech coin, because they already have stuff involved. And I'm telling you, these guys are thinking well beyond what we're thinking. Not only do they want Bitcoin ATMs, but these Bitcoin ATMs are going to be able to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, and USI Tech's Tech coin, which is currently in ICO phase. A chip/wallet service for cell phones to act like basically Apple and Android Pay. They're also working on this software to have their own basically to have their own Android Pay or Apple Pay system. This could be really, really huge. They know it's going to be huge, and there are certain cities like my own that don't even have a Bitcoin ATM. So, like I said, they're trying to establish that with distros and companies that want to buy these machines, but they already have a set number of machines already ready for distro, 3 million of them. That's going to be huge. I touched on this a bit earlier, and they're going to be bringing back the paid packages for Forex trading, which would be the same as Bitcoin their BTC package tradings, coming by the end of 2017. Basically, what they're aiming to do with the Forex is have a 50 to 60 day turnaround on their on your investment there, versus the BTC package, which is at about 140 days. But with the Forex, they're looking to shorten that time and get back into that space which they were so well known for. So again, guys, they are trying to push the boundaries. They're trying to be extremely profitable, and they're trying to make their mark in a big way. Basically, what many of you may not know is that most of their servers and websites that they have under their legal jurisdiction in the world, and basically they are run by Amazon servers. And what they have done with that, which they touched a lot on, is that they have they're not saying necessarily that they're hack proof, but what they're saying is that by using the Amazon servers and partnering with Amazon, they have key basically turnkey business with hackers that Amazon implements and hires to basically find exploits in their servers and databases. Now, how is that relevant? Well, Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world next to Microsoft, probably even bigger than Microsoft. And what they're doing basically is they're running their servers from them, leasing their servers from them, and they are able to gain access to these paid hackers who basically are paid to exploit websites. They basically have one of the most secure networks over anybody. And if you don't think that's important, then take a look at the most recent ICOs that have popped up. Falcon Coin, Western Coin, Hextra Coin, Devor. Like, should I go on? Like, to be able to partner with these guys, I know a lot of people had, including myself, were given Electroneum flack about their ICO and them giving excuses that they're taking their time and they're going through. They've adopted their service through Amazon server the same way, and they're waiting on support from them to find out what they need to do to basically beef up the servers and beef up the security. I used to think that was a joke, but after hearing USI Tech saying basically that's what they're doing and that's what they've been doing, it makes a lot of sense now. These guys are trying to be the cream of the crop, and to do that, you have to be secure. You don't want to be able to be hacked by the best teams in the world. You know what I mean? And so they're going through the due diligence of trying to make their platform as secure as possible. And right now, it's probably one of the best ones that you can get into. Other than that, I wrote down some more stuff. I've touched on some of that stuff. Basically, they wanted to give knowledge on what they don't guarantee, and that is they don't guarantee income claims. So basically, as most of us YouTubers are aware and are used to, when we say, hey, our daily payouts, we're earning this much a month or this much a day from this platform, they don't want that, because legally it binds them to a clause or to a lawsuit stating, for somebody to say, well, they guarantee that they can make this much money a day or this much money a month. So they're staying away from that. Like I said, when they say they don't want hype, this is what they're talking about. They don't endorse income claims. So everybody that's out there saying, I make this much a day, I make this much a month, they're trying to get away from that. Your return of capital is an average of 1% a day until the package that you purchase reaches 140%. It doesn't necessarily have to reach that percent in 140 days. If it reaches that percent, let's say 140% within, 90 days, then it will continue to pay you the percents afterwards up until 140 days only. But the average payout is 0.7 through 1.25%. I wrote that down because it makes a lot of sense. It's a big question, and it's something that can be misconstrued, most definitely from people that are trying to join. they emphasize that there are no guarantees. So anybody out there that's going to say they guarantee this, they guarantee that, to do it all the time with BitConnect. BitConnect guarantees up to like 45% a month. They don't guarantee anything. They say you can earn up to that percentage a month. So USI Tech is stressing that they don't guarantee anything. The price of Bitcoin fluctuates, just like we saw this weekend, all the way down to $5,100. That's a loss of like $200. That's crazy, and it bounced right back. So they don't want to guarantee anybody anything, because what you're doing is you are giving an investment, but they don't consider it necessarily an investment. You're putting your money into trying to earn. And so they don't want people to think that they're like some bank account or a mutual fund. They don't want people to see it as necessarily an investment, but something that you're contributing to hopefully gain. Let's see. The biggest question of all that I've had from you guys and other people that have messaged me is why don't you show the back office, and why did you show the back office and then delete the videos? Because they stress very heavily at the event that they don't want the back office for U.S. customers to be recorded, or still shots or anything like that to be put up in public. And the reason for that is because they have a proprietary system. And if you want to see that system, all you have to do is register for free. You can use and browse and navigate the system at your will as long as you register. The correlating factor to this is that when we do that, if I show you the back office, you're making a claim of income, and that's what they're trying to stay away from, because that's a no-no. That's a big legal factor that most of these marketing companies are now going with. So it kind of changes the game altogether. How do you sell a company if you can't sell your daily payouts, if you can't sell these things? You know what I mean? You have to show, we think as promoters that we have to show the people what we're gaining, what we're making daily. And that's what they're trying to get away from, because that basically incurs the wrath of people who try to sue them on the daily. They don't want to deal with that. So people that they catch basically filming or taking pictures of the back office in the U.S., this does not include people that are outside of the U.S. Apparently it's fine for them. They didn't really necessarily clarify on that aspect of why it's okay if you live outside the U.S. to do that versus inside the U.S. to do that. But basically it's a no-no. So, that's a good portion of what I have learned from this company, and why it strengthened my belief in this company to invest with them. Now, I started off with 50 packs. If you want to know what a pack cost or what 50 packs is worth, I urge you to click the link below and join in and join in with the team. We're going to build the biggest team in USI Tech. The people that we met, they're awesome. They're great. But the team that we are building, the Relentless Squad for USI Tech, it's going to be the biggest. Mark my words. If you want to be able to look at the back office, the questions that you may have, like, why aren't you showing the back office? I'm English. Why aren't you doing this? Join for free. Take a look at the back office for yourself. They have a number of tools that you can use. The BTC package calculator is the most important tool ever. Why don't you have a spreadsheet? You don't need a spreadsheet. Sign up and use the BTC calculator that's there in the platform, built in. I'm telling you guys, you can join for free, browse the back office, see if it's something that calls to you. It may not be the most attractive. When we're dealing with these HYIPs, looking at BitConnect and even USI Tech, it makes you like, I don't know if I want to go with them. They're not really offering that much. But I'm telling you, the power of these BTC packages can make your day. They stressed on it a ton. The one thing that they said that I researched the most and that I told Raj about today was they stressed that once you get 100 packages, that's when you'll truly see the magic starting, with the compounding and whatnot. So I was bored and I was looking at it today and I said, Raj, oh my God, we were, you know, concentrated on getting the 100 packages in accumulation in total. But when I looked at accumulating 100 packages versus buying 100 packages at one time, the night and day difference was absolutely insane. Which is why today I purchased 100 packs at one given time, because basically purchasing 100 packages at one given time, right? And then setting your rebuy settings to 100% will give you one package a day, all the way up to about day 28, day 29, in which it will start buying 2 packages every other day. Basically, at the end of 300 days, if you were to leave it alone, you would start off with 100 packs, but you would end up with over 730 plus packages total. And I told him, I said, look at this, dude. Our goal was to get about 100 packages a month. Now imagine if we did this every month. Imagine if we bought 100 packages at one time every month. If you're getting over 730 packages in 300 days from one transaction of 100 packages or more, or just of 100 packages, imagine if you were doing that every month. Absolutely insane. Go ahead and basically take 730 plus packages and multiply it by 12 months. That's how much you would be gaining in a year. I told him, I said, it's a big difference between purchasing 100 packages and then accumulating 100 packages a month. It's a big, big difference. So, as always, with my team, I'm sending out free BTC packages weekly. Weekly to those people that I see taking the initiative. And you guys are taking this by the bullhorns. And you're starting to make a difference, because there's one thing dealing with the hypes and there's another thing dealing with the real companies. And this is what I'm trying to push, because it is solid. It is legal. It is compliant. It is transparent. That doesn't mean that it is not susceptible to fraud. It doesn't mean that they're not susceptible to going down. It just means that at the end of the day, it gives you a peace of mind knowing that this company is out in the spotlight, out on Front Street to the governments of the world and what they're doing. If you don't want to deal with companies like that, and you would rather deal with companies that are anonymous, companies that can disappear in a day, and you have no legal help to prosecute them, no legal help to make sure that they go to jail for what they've done to you and scammed you, then this is not for you. If you want to continue to deal with companies like that, then I would suggest not messing with USI Tech. It's simply an opinionated based thing. You either like dealing with the danger and you deal with the danger of getting burned, or you don't. But USI Tech has been here for 8 long years, and they're aiming to continue to be the number one company. And right now, I see the potential of them being the number one company in this space. They're not transparent. With BitConnect, if they go down tomorrow, there's nobody but to blame but the regional and the national promoters that we see. Glenn, Craig, Trayvon, people that we see pushing it that are at the highest peak in that company. Those are the only people that you can blame. But no legal aspect can be brought to those people because nobody knows who the real owners are. It's not their fault. They're just promoting it like anybody else. With USI Tech, there are legal binding contracts to these people. We know who they are. We know who is involved. We know who to go after. And so does the government. So nobody that is intentionally claiming to scam people are going to go through this route that USI Tech is going through. And that's why I feel so strongly about getting involved with them and changing your life. By this time next year, I will be a millionaire in USI Tech. And I'm letting you know that right now. It may seem like a long time to you, but it's really not. This year's flown by. And this year has offered me getting involved with the many companies in the crypto space. It has boosted me well beyond what I thought I can achieve dealing with other companies. So imagine what I can do with USI Tech, and that's why I'm sticking with them. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join the team. The link is in the description below, as well with a couple of other companies that I feel and that I am involved with as well, who will help you get to that point of financial freedom. We are building the biggest team in the crypto space with USI Tech. We went to the event this weekend. I went to the event this weekend. Never have been to an event and had people approaching me and saying, "We've seen your videos, we follow your channel, and we love you. You know, we've seen everything you've been through, and we recognize you." And it was mind blowing because we're so used to sitting behind our desk talking about this stuff. We don't know how many people we're actually impacting in real life until you get to that stage and you get around real people who are investors. It's amazing. And I'm glad that I met every single one of you guys this weekend. It's incredible. So again, I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good night. I'm out. Crypto Nation, we're rising.